but I think we got to wrap it up. It saddens me. I don't normally write notes. I wrote a ton of notes here for you, in very
I can read them.
messy. Yeah, if you want to read the notes, you want to read the notes here.
Sure.
Let me. I'm kind of like a doctor the way I write a prescription. I had all these great questions.
Wow, Ivan Reitman, McMaster.
Well,
yes, we had Ivan gave me my first job,
and your kids now the success. I love that, the generational part of it. That
Jason
to me,
Reitman, yes, just completely made it on his own, and now Catherine Reitman got her own show on CBC.
Working girl, or
Dan
working mom.
now here, Order of Canada. I'm wearing my pin.
Congratulations,
yeah, that
sir.
was that
Quite
was
an honor.
That was a big one. In the Golden Globes. Oh, the Trump thing. Oh, honest to God, when is this going to end? This is insane. This man, he's so orange. He's so.
On the Todd Shapiro Show, SiriusXM 168.
I always come into work a little bit anxious, a little bit excited to get back at doing what I love to. I think I still love to do it, and even more reason to be anxious today because we have a legend in front of us, and I'm sure he's heard that before. But SCTV fame, American Pie fame, any of the movies of Christopher Guest, Mighty Wind, Best in Show, etc. And third season of Schitt's Creek starts soon. Eugene Levy, how are you, friend?
Hi guys, how are you?
It's I got to tell you, I'm so excited that you're here. It's so nice of you to do this. Do you like doing the interviews and the big junkets? Is that fun for you?
I love hearing myself talk all day. I can't get enough. I just, because I have conversations with myself as well because I always like dealing with a better class of people. That's an old bad joke that somebody used to say. No, you know what? It's just I appreciate it. I think it's great, and I'm for somebody who doesn't talk a lot in real life, it's a bit it's kind of like it's good for me because it keeps my energy up.
Are you more introverted typically? Is that the deal?
I would say I am more introverted. Not nothing that I would have to see a shrink about, but I as a performer, as an actor, I'm not the guy that wants to be in the front of the room attracting the attention. I'd rather be in the back of the room listening to somebody else. So, it's always a little, it's the odd thing too, because another misnomer is that when people introduce me as comedian Eugene Levy, which I'm not, never did stand up. If somebody says go up and do 10 minutes, and do what? I mean, don't have 10 minutes. So all my comedy came through characters in an acting kind of capacity. So, people, I think there's an expectation that, people are expecting very funny things. It doesn't always happen. But so far, today's been okay. I've gotten my fair share of laughs.
I'll give you about a 6 out of 10 so far on some laughs on the program since the start. No, but you talk about looking in the camera and doing stuff. When you did the sketch comedy and the character impersonations and such, would you actually look in the camera and have a conversation with yourself as someone else? I thought that was
wow.
A
That's a good question. I'm not sure I quite understand it. Would I say that again? What is that question?
Would you when you're playing characters and doing all your
okay.
Perry Como, for example?
Okay, good one. Yeah. God, like that.
Yeah, old school.
Okay.
And
you got me.
Would you look in the mirror and do Perry? So you're not really having, because earlier you mentioned having conversations with yourself as a joke, and I'm saying, would you do it, to rehearse?
You know what? To be honest, on our show, we had such great hair and makeup people that when for example Perry Como, I never did Perry Como, never did that impersonation in my life, came up with the idea. If I just looked in the mirror as myself, wouldn't have a clue, wouldn't be remotely close. Once they get through with you in makeup and hair and you can see what they do and they tell you, okay, just don't turn your head past this angle, but try and keep this angle, and you go, wow, this is really close, and all of a sudden the voice comes. I did impersonations on that show I would never have remotely been able to do without the look, right? Once you got the look, it's amazing how quickly things fell into place.
It's why I cut my hair when I proposed to my wife, so I'd look the part like a gentleman, and then I just ended up, being a big schmuck after. But
Okay.
so
That's good.
I understand what
So
you're.
you got the wife. That's the main
I
thing.
have a very nice wife.
Yes.
You've been married for a long time, 2 children. Dan Levy, who you work on the program with on Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
I'm a new father, and one of the things I completely admire about you is the friendship that you have with your son. Advice for it's such a great thing. You're doing stuff you love, you're passionate about, you're entertaining millions, and you get to do it with your family. How does that work?
I don't know. It just happened. I mean, it's a shock that both my kids are in the business. It's not something I pushed them into. When Dan first started working on MTV here in Toronto, left school, I guess he was, where was he, at Ryerson here in town in his final year or something, and then auditions happened for MTV, and all of a sudden he got it, and then they needed him right away, so he kind of had to leave, with 2 months left in the season. But he was there for 7 years and doing such great on-camera work, like, kind of being there on camera, just thinking and being funny and being a charming host, and that's great. And then he started doing sketches, and they were really funny, and it started kind of opening up before my eyes that, boy, he's really kind of doing it well. And now it's just amazing that he came to me with an idea for this thing, and we started working on it thinking, well, this is a good father-son thing. Working with my kid, trying to get something off the ground. I don't know how far it's going to go, but it's going to be fun. Cut to, here we are going into season 3. I mean, this is a totally surreal kind of thing. And being able to do it with my son is, even if this is the one and only time, we get to do it, at least I can say, hey, you know what? It was a nice run with my son and my daughter working together.
Yeah, 3 seasons for a sitcom already, you're right, it is something to be very proud of. A lot of sitcoms don't last that long, especially in this day and age. And the 3rd season premiering tomorrow night on CBC, 9 p.m., and I believe you're still on American network Pop TV, is that correct?
Pop TV in the States, yes.
And that Wednesday?
That's Wednesday, yeah, we premiere Wednesday on Pop. And it's taking hold in the States, too. It's, the awareness level is really going up, which is great.
And I spoke to your son about the program last year for season 2, and one of the things I said to Dan was, and I hope you don't take offense to this being such a Canadian legend and, working on so many Canadian series before moving out to LA and doing all the stuff there, but it doesn't have a Canadian-produced feel to it. It just sort of has a worldly one. And even though it's set in a town in Ontario, it just looks big. And I love the perception of it alone. Is that something that was, you were sort of focused on?
Yeah, it's shot in a town in Ontario. It's not necessarily set in Ontario.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, we don't really know where.
Well, do you ever transfer money? Because
it is set, and the reason you don't know is because it was trying to make Schitt's Creek the focal point of the show without setting it in a geographic location anywhere, so that people kind of think, oh, well, that's close to Buffalo. Why don't they mention Buffalo? Or so that's that was that. And the second part of the question.
No, just I was asking about the money. Do you ever transfer money on it? Like, is it Canadian money, American money? You don't really see. You don't see a currency.
You don't see a currency.
Okay. Yeah. You're on Twitter, Eugene Levy.
Yeah, but I'm not a really good tweeter.
You don't tweet much.
I don't tweet much.
Real Eugene Levy. That's where you are. Real, and not to mistake it for real Donald Trump. Okay, you're not. You,
well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. How? Because I didn't go on Twitter because I can't wait to send out some tweets. Somebody was using my name to send out tweets, and I heard this through other people, and they were really horrible.
Oh no!
Tweets, nasty, ugly kind of tweets, and I tried to, try to get a hold of Twitter. If you've got a problem, can't do it.
Twitter didn't even get back to Eugene Levy when someone is trying to be you online.
No.
Well, that's unfortunate.
No, they just don't get involved. So I had to legally. My lawyer said the only way to stop it is you have to get your own account on Twitter and say you're the real Eugene Levy so that somebody can't say they're the real Eugene Levy. So that's what happened.
Then you get the blue check.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I bring up Trump for a reason. The Twitter handles with the real before them.
How about that guy?
Well, you guys are the same age. You're both. And I can't believe you. First off, you look unbelievable. You're 70 years old.
That is correct.
From Hamilton, you're the best looking person ever out of Hamilton. I'm sure you've been told that before.
Well, it's tough coming out of a steel town and trying to maintain some looks. When you're. Yeah.
You look great, but in the town Schitt's Creek, would you say that the townsfolk, or say the mayor, played by Chris Elliott, who I love and admire and spoke to also because of the program once, and thank you for that, would you be considered, say, deplorables in that town, the original townsfolk there?
Would the Roses be considered?
Not you guys. No, the town itself.
Oh.
Would you deem them as say Trump supporters?
I think when we, in the realm of our show, I would have guessed possibly that they might be.
I just think it's neat because it's almost like a premonition where, if you think about how the town is and how, say, the Rose is like a big New York, I would feel like they're more, even though they're capitalists, they're a little more liberal-minded, a little more open, and just a little worried sort of the country folk. But it seems as though in season 3, you're starting to blend a little bit. You're starting to mesh, understand each other. Is that what we can look forward to?
Yeah. Well, I think the thing is the family is starting to spend more time thinking of where they are now instead of where they were then. It's just a natural evolution. At some point, you just have to, get up every morning and, live your life. We're still here. Got to make money. Got to, things have to get done. So your life goes on, even though you're still thinking one day we may get out of here. The question is how. And it now is becoming apparent that if this family is going to get out, somehow they have to create a situation where they either make enough money, but it's got to be done here because they just can't get out. They can't sell the place. Nobody's interested in buying it. So business opportunities and everything else have to happen in Schitt's Creek. Money has to be made. The kids have to go out. They have to get jobs. So life goes on, and the assimilation thing happens where you are now becoming a citizen of Schitt's Creek.
Is Moira, of course, played by the great Catherine O'Hara, is she starting to adjust to the town? It feels like she's the one who still can't.
Moira
really.
would be the last person to make any adjustment to becoming a citizen of Schitt's Creek. Even though her life is going on, even though she's getting involved in the Schitt's Creek Town Council, she would never, ever say to anyone, yes, I am a proud citizen of Schitt's Creek. She's still kind of fighting to get back to a former life of all the people in the family.
Now, obviously, the desire is to escape the town that you own that was once bought as a joke for your children when you were the video store magnate and had all the money in the world. Will we maybe see a trepidatious side to your character who starts to maybe enjoy Schitt's Creek a little more and not want to leave?
No, I don't think that's the point with Johnny. I mean, I think the thing is the responsibility is still on his shoulders to try and do something, create something business-wise that would generate money that might turn the town around, that might make it more valuable for somebody coming in to buy it. Work has to be done internally now in the town to make it a more desirable buy in a way. And while this is all going on, it's becoming part of their lives. Moira's on town council to try and, beautify the town, things that can help the town, again, to make it a more desirable buy in a way. But you know, life goes on. You know, it's terrible if you have to go to prison. The first week or so is going to be, yikes, disastrous. By year 3, year 4, it's kind of becomes part of your life.
We're all somewhat chameleons of our environment.
Yeah.
You know, you adjust, you change, and you become a part of it. Working with Chris Elliott, from all the funny people you worked with in your days, is he one of the best?
Chris makes me laugh so much on the show. My biggest breakup moments are moments with Chris Elliott. I've been a Chris fan since he was living under the stairs on the Letterman show many, many years ago on the old show. I would go insane when he came out doing his Brando, when he would be introduced by Letterman as, ladies and gentlemen, Marlon Brando. And out comes Chris, just dressed as himself, but doing Brando from The Godfather. And he would start doing an interview and talking like this. And I'd say, what is this about? It's insane. There's no act here. But it was funny. It was hysterical.
I always say he would have been one of the biggest viral TV stars of his time if sort of the internet or YouTube existed, with those little creative little bits, 3-4 minute ins and outs. Those were the types of things that would have gotten like 20, 30 million views and stuff. Just those little stuff.
Well, Chris is fun. You know, Chris is really comes from comedy royalty. I mean, you know, Bob Elliott was one of the great, Bob and Ray, one of the great comedy duos ever.
Fantastic. Did you reach out to Chris? Sorry to interrupt. Was that when you had the idea of the show? Were you like, we got to get Chris Elliott?
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was when we started the show. And originally in the very beginning, there was his dad was the mayor in the original concept, and Chris was the son, kind of, you know, but. The idea of Chris Elliott being the ne'er-do-well mayor of this little town, especially called Schitt's Creek, there was no other way to go. I mean, you know, Chris was the one and only choice, and you know, luckily he jumped at it and said, yeah, sure, he would love to do it.
Cool. You having a ton of fun, Eugene? Is at 70 still doing what you love? Is it amazing?
The reason I'm having, honestly, I'm having so much fun on this show for a number of reasons. One, I love the quality of the show. I love the fact that it really is a great show. I love the fact I'm doing it with my family. I love the fact we have such a great cast, and I'm working once again with Catherine. You know, but I think not since SCTV, which we love. We were young and stupid doing SCTV and just working insane hours, but we loved doing it, and people loved the show. An SCTV audience was a hardcore audience that were just rabid fans. Not since SCTV have I experienced being on a show where the fans are as rabid about the show as they are about Schitt's Creek. And in that sense, I'm having the time of my life at the age of 70.
As Fred Willard would say in A Mighty Wind, it gets a cult-like following, which is fantastic, but lasting many more years than just the one. Eugene, I don't know how much time we have because it is a pre-tape and we go live a little later with this, but I think we got to wrap it up. It saddens me. I don't normally write notes. I wrote a ton of notes here for you, in very
I can read them.
Messy. Yeah, if you want to read the notes, you want to read the notes here.
Sure.
Let me. I'm kind of like a doctor the way I write a prescription. I had all these great questions.
Wow, Ivan Reitman, master.
Well,
yes, we had Ivan gave me my first job,
and your kids now the success. I love that, the generational part of it. That
Jason
to me,
Reitman, yes, just completely made it on his own, and now Catherine Reitman got her own show on CBC.
Working girl, or
Dan
working mom.
Now here, Order of Canada. I'm wearing my pin.
Congratulations,
yeah,
sir.
Was
quite an honor.
That was a big one. And the Golden Globes. Oh, the Trump thing. Oh, honest to God, when is this going to end? This is insane. This man, he's so orange. He's so petty. He's so honest to God.
Yeah.
He is dividing this country. He is severing the entertainment community completely, which, if he thought about it, is a community he would actually need if he's going to try and sell things to people. I mean, but it's too late for that now, isn't it?
Was it weird being in LA and in the States? I would imagine you're there most of the time watching this go down. Was that as a Canadian, was that strange?
I watched election night with everybody else, and it was like, what is happening? It's Network come to life, the movie Network.
Yeah.
And Patty Chayefsky's Network. It was like insane. This man goes insane on the air, and the more insane he goes,
people love it.
The bigger the ratings. And this is exactly what it is. I don't think he ever thought he would get elected. I don't think Hillary Clinton ever thought she would lose. I don't think anybody thought she would lose. I think he was in shock when he found out he's actually going to win the election. I don't think that was his intention. I think his intention was to use politics to promote his name and his face in a way that is bigger than anything he's ever done, bigger than The Apprentice. He's on the news every night, and then when he loses, he would come out and say, hey, look at what I did. I'm not even in politics, and I made it to the finals. And had I worked a little harder, I think I could have been president, but it's not even my game.
And now here's Trump TV or something. Thanks for the free promotion.
Then he would parlay that into some major TV thing. Don't know what, probably Fox related or something, but he could have done anything.
Hey, maybe I'll do a cameo on season 4 for Schitt's Creek.
Well,
now that he's in politics.
Yes, we're in discussions right now. Yeah.
Eugene, I had one more thank you, and it was all the great films you've done with Christopher Guest as well. I'm a massive Best in Show and a Mighty Wind fan. And one of the things we did in morning radio for 13 years is we played a game called Hey, What Happened? We stole that from Fred. You got the clip there below. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm synonymous with this show. And it's because I interviewed Fred back in the day on a junket. And I heard this clip right here.
Hey, what happened?
And that's when people confess to us what happened in their lives, and we gave them CDs or something, and they would tell us some crazy tales, all because of everything you've been a part of.
Wow.
And American Pie, of course, too. Thank you for everything, Eugene. Thank you for being such a great representative of all of Canada. We speak to all of Canada here on SiriusXM and the United States, and it's a good time to be a Canadian, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a particularly good time, and we're all here to welcome anybody who wants to move up from south of the border. It's I started my career here. I'm still here, going strong. Love the city, love the country, and there you go. Proud Canadian through and through.
Pretty evident that no one loves you, Eugene Levy, at all. No, probably the most popular Canadian other than Wayne Gretzky. Thank you to Eugene Levy and his wonderful family for putting out such great television. Go and check out Schitt's Creek tomorrow night on CBC at 9 p.m. And if you're listening in the United States, check out Pop TV, and that will happen on Wednesday. I'm not sure of the time, but I'm sure you can find it. And best of luck. Hopefully we get a season 4, and we look forward to seeing a lot more of you in the future, Eugene.
You got it. A lot of fun.
Cheers,
Thanks.
my man. I do appreciate it. It's
Loved
all brought to you by Pizza. Back in a moment here on Canada Laughs, Channel 168. Thanks for joining us on the first show of 2017. I can breathe now. Back in a moment.
Wow. Boy, that's...
The Todd Shapiro Show.
All right, we really appreciate you watching that video. Make sure you check out some more videos. Why not? Let's get caught in the Shapiro Show vortex right here. Or you can subscribe to the channel right here and check out videos at any point, because we're going to give you all the alerts. We do appreciate you being a part of our family. Most families hate each other. Not ours. We love you.